All right, let's dive right into this explainer on the science of hydration. We are going to uncover exactly why our bodies need water, what happens when we don't get enough of it, and precisely how to make sure we stay perfectly balanced. Whether you're an athlete, a busy professional, or really just someone looking to optimize your day-to-day health, understanding the mechanics of how our bodies process fluids is absolutely foundational. So let's get into it. Here's our agenda for today. We'll start with the biology of hydration, then look at the dangers of dehydration, figure out exactly how much you need, talk about choosing the right fluids, and wrap up with some practical daily hydration strategies. Section 1. The biology of hydration. We are mostly water.
Think about this for a second. At birth, a human infant is essentially just a little vessel of water, making up approximately 75% of their entire body weight. Crazy, right? Now, as we age, that composition shifts. By the time we're older adults, our body's water content drops to about 55%. But whether it's 75% or 55%, the sheer volume of water inside us tells us one undeniable fact. Water isn't just something we consume. It is literally what we are.
Water is honestly our body's unsung hero, working 24/7 behind the scenes. It acts as your internal thermostat, regulating your body temp through sweating when you're in a hot climate or working out. It's basically a shock absorber, lubricating and cushioning your joints so you can actually move without pain. It surrounds and protects your highly sensitive spinal cord, and crucially, it's the ultimate transit system, transporting vital nutrients to your cells and flushing waste products out of your system. Section 2. The dangers of dehydration. What happens when water levels drop? Dehydration is a condition that kicks in when you just don't consume enough fluids. And it's surprisingly common. It can sneak up on you incredibly fast, especially if you're in a hot climate, doing intense exercise, or if you're sick with a fever. Even mild dehydration doesn't just make you feel a little parched. It has immediate, measurable, negative impacts on both your physical capabilities and your cognitive health. This comparison perfectly illustrates the contrast. When you're well hydrated, your thinking is sharp, your temperature is perfectly regulated, and your digestion is smooth. But when you're dehydrated, honestly, the picture gets pretty grim. You start experiencing confusion, a lack of concentration, and headaches. Your digestion slows down, leading to constipation, and over time, chronic dehydration invites serious medical issues. We're talking urinary tract infections, kidney stones, and even long-term kidney damage. Let's move to Section 3. How much do you need? Data-driven daily guidelines. Okay, now that we know the stakes, let's figure out exactly how much fluid you need to stay safely in that clear thinking zone. There's a really common myth that we only get hydrated from chugging glasses of tap water, but the data actually shows that about 20 to 30% of our daily water intake comes directly from the food we eat. Think about high-water foods, hearty soups, stews, fresh fruits, and veggies. The remaining 70 to 80%, though, absolutely has to come from the drinks we consume throughout the day. According to the British Dietetic Association, our fluid needs naturally scale up as we grow. Infants need around 640 to 800 milliliters. By the time kids are 4 to 8 years old, they're up to roughly 1,280 milliliters. For adults, men should aim for about 2,000 milliliters, so 2 liters a day, while women should aim for 1,600. And importantly, if you're pregnant, your body is doing major extra work, so you've got to add an additional 300 milliliters to that daily adult baseline. Here's the real kicker, though. You can't just wait around until you feel thirsty to start drinking. By the time your brain actually registers the sensation of thirst, your body is already partially dehydrated. Thirst is a delayed and, frankly, sometimes entirely unreliable signal. This is especially true for young kids, who might not recognize or know how to communicate their thirst, and for older adults whose physiological thirst mechanism naturally weakens as they age. Section 4. Choosing the right fluids. What counts towards your goal? So you've got your daily target numbers, but what exactly should you be putting in your cup to reach them? Plain, zero-calorie water is obviously the undisputed champ of hydration. But hey, it's not the only thing that counts. Milk and calcium-fortified plant alternatives provide fluid plus vital nutrients. Plain, unsweetened teas and coffees absolutely count. Sparkling waters and seltzers are fantastic low-calorie choices. Even 100% fruit juices count, though you definitely want to limit those to small amounts because of all that natural sugar. Now, a quick aside about caffeine, because I know a lot of us practically run on coffee. The guidelines note that 400 milligrams is the recommended daily safe caffeine limit for most adults. To put that into perspective, 400 milligrams is roughly 2 to 3 cups of plain brewed coffee. And while caffeine does have a very mild diuretic effect, the actual water in your coffee or tea more than makes up for it, so it definitely still contributes positively to your hydration. Just be mindful of that 400 milligram ceiling, and if you're pregnant, you'll want to limit that further to 200 milligrams. But when it comes to toddlers and infants under 2 years old, the guidelines from our sources are incredibly strict. You have to avoid all sugar-sweetened beverages completely. This includes regular sodas, sports drinks, and sweetened waters. Consuming sugar at this stage offers literally zero nutritional value and can really mess with their developing teeth and long-term health habits. Plain water and appropriate milk are truly all they need.
Finally, Section 5, Daily Hydration Strategies. Let's look at some actionable tips for staying hydrated. We can make hitting our hydration targets totally effortless with just a few quick behavioral tweaks. Step 1, simply carry a reusable water bottle with you wherever you go. Just seeing it triggers the habit to drink. Step 2, default to ordering water when you eat out and always put a pitcher of water on the table during meals at home. Step 3, if plain water bores you, toss in a wedge of lemon or lime for a 0-calorie flavor boost. And Step 4, actively eat those high-water fruits and vegetables as your daily snacks.
Now, if you want the ultimate real-world test to see if these strategies are actually working, just look at the color of your urine. I know, it sounds a little basic, but it is a highly accurate biofeedback mechanism. A pale, straw-like color means you're doing great. You are well hydrated. But if you see a dark yellow color, consider that a flashing warning sign from your body that it's dehydrated and you need to drink up immediately. I really want to circle back to this vital takeaway directly from the dietary guidelines we've been analyzing. The sensation of thirst is not a useful measure in children and older adults. It is important to encourage these groups to drink regularly rather than as a response to thirst. And honestly, this applies to all of us. Hydration shouldn't be some reactive emergency response to feeling parched. It needs to be a proactive, rhythmic habit built right into the fabric of your day. By understanding your biology, knowing your numbers, and just keeping a water bottle handy, you can make sure your body always has exactly what it needs. So as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this. Do you truly know when your body is crying out for water, or have you been waiting until it's already too late?